NVIDIA's new graphics cards are hitting the shelves, and one card in particular, the RTX 5070, has kicked up an absolute storm online. See, it's powerful, it's got all this new tech, but there's one little number on the spec sheet that's literally splitting the PC gaming community in half. It's video memory. Okay, let's get right into it.
So, here it is, the GeForce RTX 5070. This is NVIDIA's shiny new contender for that mid-range sweet spot. You know, the card that's supposed to offer next-gen performance for the millions of gamers who aren't dropping $2,000 on a GPU. But that promise comes with a pretty big question mark attached.
And that's the big question we're tackling today. Is 12 gigabytes of VRAM really enough for a card this capable in today's gaming world? Or is it a flaw, maybe even a deliberate one, that's going to make this card feel old way before its time?
Before we jump into all the heated opinions, let's just ground ourselves in the facts for a second. What is NVIDIA actually putting inside this thing? Let's take a look at the official specs.
I mean, on paper, this card is absolutely packed with the latest and greatest. We're talking the brand new Blackwell architecture, way faster Tensor cores for all that AI magic, the debut of super speedy GDDR7 memory, and the next step for DLSS. So in almost every single way, it's built for the future, which honestly just makes this whole VRAM debate even more intense.
So here are the hard numbers. And yeah, you can see it has a ton of horsepower, over 6,000 CUDA cores, that new GDDR7 memory, but look closer. See that? Memory size 12 gigabytes. That one number, paired with that 192-bit bus, is where all the trouble starts.
And that brings us right to the heart of this whole thing. If you go online to places like Reddit, you can see the community basically breaking into two very distinct, very passionate camps over this exact issue.
So on one side, you have what we'll call camp pragmatist. These folks are saying, hey, for 1440p gaming, which is what this card is for, 12 gigs is totally fine for most games out there. But on the other side, you've got camp future-proofer, and they're arguing that even if 12 gigs is just enough right now, it won't be for long. They believe a card at this price should be built to last.
And this quote from Reddit user PacoLL3 just perfectly sums up the pragmatist view. They're basically saying that everyone is freaking out over a few super demanding games with all the settings cranked to the max, these extreme examples. But for the average person playing the average game, the card works great. But then you get this perfect counter-argument from user HumanMan. Their point is, look at history. What we call an extreme setting today always becomes the normal, standard setting a year or two from now. So buying a card that's just barely squeaking by today is just asking for trouble down the road. So who's right? To figure that out, we really need to dig into the specific situations where that 12 GB of VRAM actually gets pushed over the edge. Let's find out where this thing really starts to show the cracks.
Okay, first we need to talk about a term you see constantly in this debate: path tracing. What is it? Well, think of it like ray tracing turned up to 11. It's this beautiful, hyper-realistic way to render light that looks incredible, and it absolutely, positively eats VRAM for breakfast. It's pretty much the ultimate stress test for any modern graphics card.
And this is exactly where people are hitting that wall. We're seeing tons of reports that the 12 gigabyte buffer just isn't enough when you try to push into 4K gaming, or when you flip on path tracing in a beast of a game like Cyberpunk. Even new features like DLSS frame generation need their own slice of VRAM. And then you have notoriously VRAM-hungry games like the new Indiana Jones or Jedi Survivor, not to mention VR. They all can push this card past its limit.
Okay, so with all this conflicting info flying around, how are you supposed to know if it's the right card for you? Well, it really just comes down to being honest about your own gaming habits and what you need. Let's break down how you can make the call for yourself.
Just ask yourself these 4 simple questions. 1. What resolution are you playing at? The general feeling is that 12 GB is a lot safer for 1440p than it is for 4K. 2. Are you a max settings or bus kind of person? If you absolutely have to turn on every single graphical bell and whistle, especially path tracing, you're probably going to feel that VRAM limit. 3. How often do you upgrade? If you get a new GPU every couple of years, 12 GB is probably fine. But if you expect this card to last you 5 years or more, well, 16 GB is a much safer bet. And finally, let's be real, what's your budget? Because getting that extra VRAM on the next card up costs a lot more money.
And at the end of the day, that's really what the whole RTX 5070 debate boils down to. There's no single right answer for everybody. It's a personal choice, a calculation between performance, price, and your own priorities. Do you buy the card that's perfect for 99% of the games out right now, or do you spend more to invest in a card that's ready for the demanding games that are just around the corner? That choice is up to you.